Aloha. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Kimberly Ella Mayetta, and I am the very proud principal, I always say I'm not going to cry, and I do, of Juanita High School. It is my honor to welcome all of you to this commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this wonderful occasion. At this time, I ask you to please stand for our national anthem for a combined performance by our JHS band, choir, and drama programs. They are under the direction of Anne-Marie Smith, Ashley Haslinger, and Elizabeth McMurray Hawk. Please be seated. That was amazing, thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. I would like to begin with a land acknowledgement for this beautiful place that we are guests in today. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. We acknowledge this land by giving gratitude to this land, showing respect to this land, as well as honoring the true history and original caretakers of this land. I would also like to acknowledge and recognize the individuals sitting here on the stage. We are privileged to have Superintendent Dr. John Holman, Deputy Superintendent Matthew Gillingham, Associate Superintendent Pablo Ortega, School Board Director Lindsay Yoakum, Director of Secondary Education Dr. Matthew Livingston, and JHS Associate Principals Brenda Conrad, Lance Espejo, and Robbie Furtado, and our staff speaker, Ryan Chisholm. I also believe we have some special guests in our audience this afternoon. Would any audience members who are Juanita High School alumni please stand? Thank you. And now, would the awesome faculty and staff of Juanita High School please stand and be recognized? Thank you. For those who don't know, I moved here from Hawaii last year, and I'm so excited to have the honor to graduate my first class of Juanita High School, the class of 2026. In Hawaiian culture, learning, or malama ike, is often passed down orally through elders, through work, through observation, and through participation in community life. A Hawaiian proverb, "A'ohe pau ka ike, ika halau ho'oka'i," means not all knowledge is taught in the same school. No single place or system holds all the knowledge that you will learn in your life. True wisdom requires openness to multiple ways of knowing and the perseverance to keep learning. And although the teachers and the staff of Juanita High School had the immense honor of educating you for about 720 days of your life, we want to encourage you to now become those lifelong learners. Congratulations to the class of 2026, and I can't wait to see what you achieve. So we begin the special part of our program this afternoon by first welcoming School Board Director Lindsay Yoakum to share a few remarks with us, followed by Superintendent Dr. John Holman.
Good afternoon, Juanita graduates. Today is about celebrating everything you've worked for. The late nights, the early mornings, the deadlines, the projects, the moments you surprised yourself, and the moments you weren't sure you'd make it through. But you did, you are here, and that is what matters. For years, so much of your world has revolved around grades, scores, achievements, and expectations. You showed up for all of it. You worked hard and you pushed through. But here's the bigger picture. All of that effort was never really about a number on a page. It was about what happened to you in the process. It was about the discipline you built, the curiosity you developed, and the resilience you didn't know you had possessed. The grades were just the vehicle. The person you were becoming was always the destination. You have grown up in a time when pressure is louder, heavier, and more constant than it ever was for the generations before you. That kind of weight can wear people down. It can make the world feel overwhelming. Or, and this is the part I hope you carry with you, it can become a profound source of empathy and strength. Because when you've carried that kind of weight, you begin to understand it in yourself and in others. You slow down, you breathe, you reach out, and you let that pressure shape the way you move through the world with greater clarity. As you step into what's next, remember you are infinitely more than your achievements. Take what you've learned in and out of the classroom to build a life that feels good, not just one that looks good. Choose joy, choose rest, and choose people who support the real you. Your community is incredibly proud of you. We celebrate your hard work and your achievements, but even more, we celebrate your growth. On behalf of the Lake Washington School District Board of Directors, congratulations, Juanita Class of 2026.
Good afternoon. My name is John Holman, Superintendent here in the Lake Washington School District. Before my remarks, can we just recognize our band, orchestra, and choir for that rendition of the national anthem? That was remarkable. So good afternoon, families, friends, staff, board members, and most importantly, the class of 2026. Today we gather to celebrate an important achievement. Graduation marks the completion of one chapter and the beginning of another. As Ravens, your mascot offers a powerful lesson for the journey ahead. Ravens are among the most intelligent and the most adaptable. They are known for their curiosity, problem-solving abilities, and their capacity to learn from new experiences. Ravens thrive because they are willing to explore, observe, and learn from the world around them. Graduates, those same qualities have helped you bring you to this moment. Throughout your years at Juanita, you have encountered challenges that required perseverance. You have faced questions that did not have easy answers. You now know from experience that growth rarely comes from comfort. It requires courage and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. The future will continue to present opportunities for growth, but it will also offer possibilities that you cannot yet imagine. Like the raven, observe, stay curious, and be willing to venture beyond your comfort zone. This is where your discovery begins. Ask questions, seek understanding, learn from peoples whose experiences differ from your own, remain open to new ideas and unexpected opportunities. And as you leave Juanita, each of you will follow a unique path. The future before you is filled with possibilities that cannot yet be imagined. Some of the most important opportunities in your life will begin with a question, a conversation, or an unexpected experience. Stay curious enough to recognize them when they appear. So today we celebrate your accomplishments. Tomorrow you begin your next great discovery. Congratulations, Juanita High School class of 2026. Go forward with confidence, pursue your aspirations boldly, and continue to embody the very best of what it means to be a graduate of the Lake Washington School District and of Juanita High School. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Holman. We will now hear from our staff speaker, chosen by you, the senior class, to address all of us this afternoon. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Ryan Chisholm.
All right, good evening, class of 2026, as well as all in attendance here today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ryan Chisholm. I am a social studies teacher and track and field coach at Juanita. I have been lucky enough to have had the privilege of coaching or teaching many of these graduates during one or more of their 4 years in high school. And in that time, I've had the pleasure of watching these students grow and change into the awesome young adults we all see out here today. And through this process, they only occasionally made me question my career choice. So I appreciate that, graduates. Thank you. And actually, while we're on the topic of questioning choices, graduates, I do have a question for you. Raise your hand. How many of you have heard of something called a comfort zone? A couple of you. Okay. Weird, as it seems like you have completely forgotten what my comfort zone looks like when you chose to vote me up on this stage. There's really not a lot to my comfort zone. I thought after 4 years together, we would have known this by now. Classroom, preferably. Small amount of students at one given time. Obviously, lots of coffee, which sadly I don't have any right now. And then most importantly here, no large audiences. None of these requirements seem to be met at this moment, sadly. Graduates, because of your betrayal here, you're dead to me. Now, despite me being out of my comfort zone, I am actually honored to be here in front of you today, if you couldn't just tell. I can still remember seeing many of you walking in as freshmen, walking in unsure, some of you acting like you had everything together, others trying to figure out where your classes were, which weirdly some of you still seem to struggle with even after 4 years. And yet if we fast forward, here you are as graduates, sitting in caps and gowns and looking like actual young adults, ready to take on the world. Now, over the years, I've gotten to know many of you beyond just grades and assignments, and one thing I think I've realized is that most high schoolers, or really most people, I should say, love their comfort zones. Very rarely do people like to venture out of those comfort zones unless maybe they're forced to by a graduating senior class, possibly. Again, still dead to me. But, honestly, I get it. Which is why today I want to try to talk to you about the dangers of being too comfortable. Don't get me wrong, I love comfort too. You all know I love the comfort of coffee in the morning, probably too much. I love going to bed very, very early, probably much earlier than any of you are going to bed tonight. And if you've spent any time in my class, you know I love delivering lots of dry sarcasm with the confidence that most of you will wonder if I'm joking or not. Comfort is nice. Comfort's predictable. It's safe, it's easy, and if we're being honest, who doesn't like that in their life? But comfort zones have a funny way of becoming places where we stay a little too long. Because stepping outside your comfort zone is, in your Gen Z vocabulary, buns. It could mean the possibility of failure, looking awkward, or not knowing exactly what you're doing. Stepping out of that zone could look different for each person. It could be trying out for a team, taking a difficult class, speaking up in front of others, meeting new people, or just taking a chance where there aren't any guarantees. All those things may sound and can be truly terrifying, but the worst part, best part, that's sarcasm there. The best part about leaving your comfort zone is that growth seems to happen in those moments. So in terms of, I think the exciting thing that I have seen is I've watched many of you begin this process and do exactly that over the past 4 years, whether you knew it or not. I've seen quiet students become leaders. I've seen students fail at something, get back up, and try again. None of that happened because you stayed where things felt easy or comfortable. It happened because at some point, you stepped outside your comfort zone and made some semblance of peace with the possibility of failure. Now, as you leave high school, there's going to be a lot of pressure to have everything figured out. People are going to ask you what your plan is, what major you're going into, what career you hope to have. But if I've learned anything in my extremely long 28-ish years of life, it's that very few people actually have it all figured out. Some people are just really good at pretending. You just need to be willing to step into spaces, situations, and opportunities that challenge you. Say yes to the opportunities that scare you a little. Talk to people who are different from you or who have a different perspective than your own. Allow yourself to be uncomfortable. Like within reason, though. Stay away from free candy on the side of the road, those types of uncomfortable situations, preferably. Now, I want to make sure, this being said, doesn't mean go out and make bad decisions. What it does mean, what it's supposed to mean, is that the best version of yourself might be waiting just beyond the edge of what currently feels comfortable for you. Watching you grow into these incredible young adults is one of the great privileges I get in my career. This moment right here, all of you are why I love what I do. Class of 2026, you are not dead to me. And please remember, don't stay comfortable for too long. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chisholm. We will now have our student speakers who were chosen by both Juanita staff and their fellow seniors. At this time, please welcome our first speaker, Otis Downing.
Everyone? All right. Hello, class of 2026. My name is Otis Downing. Thank you. I am an Eagle Scout, an aspiring fantasy author, and a proud Raven. Today will be our final memory as high school students and mark the end of one of the most important periods of our lives. Some of us may see this ceremony as one of the most significant moments that we ever experience. Others may simply view today as a final hurdle to pass before the last carefree summer of our lives. Thank you. While some of us will remain friends for as long as we live, never again in our lives will all of us be in the same place at the same time. As Ravens, this is our final moment with the entire flock together. The paths that we embark on will be as diverse as the people in this stadium, as will our triumphs and our struggles. So in truth, no single piece of advice or inspirational message could help all of you, because we are all so different in our strengths and our shortcomings. So I will say what feels true to me, and I hope that it feels true to you as well. We can't know where we will go in life. Our choices will affect the future, but they will never stop the future from coming. No matter what choices we make or how successful that we become, we will still face struggles, hardships, and surprises. But we must also remember that sometimes the things that life throws at you are the things that make it worth living. A month ago, I had no idea that I would be standing here in front of thousands of people. I can't remember who first suggested my name to Miss Fishman, but I have a feeling that you are in this stadium today. So thank you, because I literally would not be here without you. So, thank you. So, as each one of us embarks on our own path into our own life, our own future, and our own place in society, remember this: our time on this earth is a finite resource, and the most important thing that any of us will have access to. Because while we cannot stop it from running out, we can decide how to use it up. So use it well and don't waste it. Thank you, and go Ravens!
Thank you, Otis. Now please welcome our next speaker, Ryan Brackett.
Whoa, that's a lot of people. Okay, hey Ravens, how are we all doing today? Good, good. Okay, to be honest, I had ChatGPT write this speech the night before. So if any of this sounds like really deep or articulate, when we get to those parts, those big words, I think you know why. But, have any of you seen my grammar? I'm surprised I'm even up here today. But no, in all jokes, I actually did write it, unfortunately. Took a lot of work, but it was good. Through our 12 years of schooling, here's the thing I think that nobody told us. We are the first generation to grow up with everything thrown at us all at once. You guys got social media, 24/7 news, a million different opinions telling you what to do and what to want. We were drowning in information before we even knew how to swim. And somewhere in all that noise, we were told there's a faster path, a more efficient route, the quickest way from A to B. And I think that, in our generation, is exactly the problem. In December of 1903, 9 days before Wilbur and Oliver Wright changed the world forever with the invention of the airplane, the New York Times published an article, and the conclusion was clear. Powered flight was practically impossible. 9 days later, the brothers flew. Now here's what I think when I hear that story. The Wright brothers weren't the smartest people in the room. They weren't professors. They weren't scientists. They were ordinary people like you and me who ran a bicycle shop. But they had something that experts didn't. They were willing to move forward without knowing exactly how it would end. The status quo will always tell you what's impossible. It told them, and it will tell us. And to be honest, standing up here today, I don't have my whole future figured out. Not even close. And I think right now I feel like I'm supposed to, but I'm not going to do that. Because the truth is, none of us really know where we're going. And that used to scare me, until I realized that's kind of the whole point. Successful people in life who've achieved their dreams and have what they want rarely ever got there in a straight line. They took wrong turns. They changed their minds. They started over from square one. Every step, the ones that felt right and the ones that didn't. They built something in themselves that no shortcut ever could. The thing that gets you through in life isn't a perfect plan. It's the ability to keep learning and keep moving when your plan stops working. Our generation is going to inherit a world with more technology, more information, and more noise than any generation before us. And I genuinely believe the challenges ahead of us that our generation faces will not be solved by better technology or a better algorithm. They'll be solved by better people. People who choose honesty when it's unpopular. People who adapt when their plan falls apart. People who understand that every step matters, even the detours, even the setbacks, even the moments that don't make sense. That is our superpower. Not what we know right now, but our ability to keep going when we don't. So class of 2026, whatever road you're on, whatever plan falls apart on you, stay curious, stay adaptable, stay honest. The world doesn't need a better algorithm. It needs better people. So go be that. Congratulations, we're graduating.
Thank you, Ryan. I would now like to introduce our teachers, Allison Fishman and Eric Carlson, to talk about two of our special awards that we give at graduation. Ms. Fishman will come first.
Greetings, families, friends, and the graduating class of 2026. It is my honor to present the James Biggerstaff Memorial Staff Scholarship. In 1971, when Juanita High School first opened, staff developed a vision of the ideal student, what they called the Juanita profile. This student embodies a wide range of admirable qualities: maturity, self-reliance, integrity, honesty, respect, empathy, a thirst for knowledge, a commitment to helping others, and a dedication to serving the greater good. Since 1973, the JHS staff has recognized one graduating senior who exemplifies these characteristics with a staff-funded award known simply as the Staff Scholarship. In 1997, the scholarship was renamed in honor of beloved Juanita High School counselor Jim Biggerstaff, following his untimely passing. Today, we continue this tradition as we recognize the recipient of the 2026 James Biggerstaff Memorial Staff Scholarship. Jim Biggerstaff was known for his kindness, his unwavering dedication to students, and his deep involvement both within the school and throughout the community. He left behind a lasting legacy of compassion and support that continues to shape Juanita High School today. This year, 6 Juanita seniors were nominated for this scholarship. Our committee faced the incredibly difficult task of narrowing that group to 3 finalists, a process that required thoughtful discussion and careful consideration. Juanita staff were then invited to select the student who best exemplifies the Juanita profile, and they delivered. To all our nominees, you should be incredibly proud. You represent the very best of our school community, and your impact here will not be forgotten. It's now my pleasure to announce that the 2026 James Biggerstaff Memorial Staff Scholarship recipient is Liji Rinkusi. Liji, please stand to be recognized. Liji was nominated by Miss Hunter, who wrote, "Over the past 2 years, I've had the great pleasure of getting to know Liji in my role as an advisor of Juanita High School's Black Student Union. Liji is a core part of Black Student Union, or BSU, demonstrating leadership through her quiet dedication, her effortless openness to and the inclusion of others, and her commitment to improving the Juanita experience for the entire community. Whether through her involvement with the Juanita Staff Equity Team, sharing her experiences with staff during a student equity panel, or leading and participating in district-wide BSU opportunities, Liji consistently looks for ways to make our school a more welcoming and inclusive place. Time and time again, Liji has shown the courage to stand up for her peers. Whether speaking within the equity team, addressing concerns in front of staff, or advocating in one-on-one conversations, she consistently looks beyond what is easiest or most comfortable for herself. Instead, she uses her voice to advocate for fairness, understanding, and positive change, always with care and respect for others. Liji hopes to become a lawyer so that she can continue standing up for what is right and work to make the world a more just place. In many ways, she's already doing exactly that. She makes Juanita High School better every day through her kindness, inclusion, and quiet leadership. Our school is fortunate to have her, and I wholeheartedly believe she embodies the spirit of kindness and inclusion that this scholarship seeks to honor, and that she will continue to live these values long beyond Juanita. As Ms. Hunter wrote, Liji plans to attend Seattle Pacific University this fall, where she will study law and philosophy. Congratulations, Liji. We're all so proud of you. Congratulations again on being selected as the 2026 winner of the Biggerstaff Memorial Staff Scholarship.
Good afternoon. The Gloria Hire Outstanding Citizenship Award is named in honor of a beloved former teacher and administrator. Ms. Hire set the standard for citizenship and leadership while serving the Lake Washington School District and Juanita community for 35 years. Students are nominated by staff members, and 4 students from the graduating class were selected after an all-staff vote. The characteristics for this award are as follows: consistent caring for people and property, respect of others, integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, courage to speak up or act to correct injustices, true sportsmanship in all they do, embraces diversity in a non-judgmental and accepting manner, a willingness to be involved in activities with a giving spirit rather than a selfish one, and attempts to include those who may not usually be included in activities. Please stand when I announce your name. Ryan Brackett. Kiara Foster. Harper Rutenbar. And Leanne Stout. Thank you for your service and leadership in our Juanita community. We are so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Allison and Eric. Now I would like to introduce Cameron McDougall, along with his special guests, which he will introduce, who are here to present the Starry Stein Leadership Award.
Good afternoon. It is wonderful to be in front of the class of 2026 of Juanita High School. You all look absolutely wonderful. I know it's a magnificent day for you and a day when everyone in the stands of your families is so proud of you. I'm here today to present the winners of the Steris Stein Leadership Scholarship. And I want to thank Principal Maeda, I want to thank Superintendent Holman for helping establish this scholarship. And I want to give a quick background on why we created it. My name is Cameron McDougall. I'm a proud member of the Juanita High School class of 1994. And I came to Juanita High School in 1991, 35 years ago. And when I came, I had 2 shirts, I had 1 pair of jeans, and 0 friends. Juanita High School was my 8th school in 4 years. And going to 8 schools teaches you that the hardest place to be in a high school, to remind you that you have no friends, is the lunchroom cafeteria. Because it will tell you very quickly that nobody wants to sit with you. And so rather than go in at lunchtime, I would walk outside and sit on a bench by myself and wait the lunch period out. And sitting on that bench, everything was going wrong. And I would think to myself, you know, I really just need one thing to go right. I need one thing to go my way. But looking for one thing at that point seemed like asking for a miracle. And then one day, a miracle sat down next to me, and his name was Brent Steris. And he very quickly introduced me to his friend, Michael Stein. Now, can I ask Brent and Mike, can you guys stand up right now? Can we say, let's give them a round. Now for the crowd, can I ask a favor? Can everybody say, hi, Brent? That's awesome. Can everybody say, hi, Mike? Man, what a crowd. I tell you, Mike's the one with the Guinness Book of World Records mustache, which is just formidable. But these two were popular. They had friends. They did not need to be nice to me. They didn't need to include me in anything, but they did. And they introduced me to their friend group. They invited me to social events, and they helped me find my footing at Juanita High School. And their kindness changed my life. And when it changed my life, I thought to myself, you know, one day I'm going to find a way to honor them. And I'm pleased to tell you that today is that day. Working with your wonderful leader, Principal Maeda, I proposed the idea of establishing a scholarship award to be awarded to 2 Juanita High School class of 2026 seniors who embody excellent academic performance, leadership, and the type of character that includes people in the community to make the community a better place. And each of the 2 recipients will receive a scholarship of $10,000. And in establishing the scholarship, the aim is really to do 3 things. Number 1 is to say thank you to all of you. Thank you to the Juanita community for taking me in and giving me a chance. Secondly, I would love it if each of you remembered the name Brent Steris and Michael Stein, because their character is the type of character that I would hope we as a community want to celebrate. And thirdly, I want to create a scholarship that encourages us as a community to be inclusive and kind to one another. And I hope that this award inspires people to come into their community and to come to Juanita and be nice to the new kid. Maybe even accept someone who has a different point of view than you and try to make each of your interactions more engaged with the people around you. And so with that, I'm going to get to the fun stuff, which is announcing the winners of the 2 scholarships. Before I do that, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the committee who helped us work through all of the applications. I want to thank Miss Allison Fishman. I want to thank Carrie, and I want to thank Sam Habib. Carrie Hale and Sam and Allison were just amazing in helping us work through so many materials, including with Miss Maeda's help. And so with that, before I announce the awards, the last thing I'll say is we had a lot of applications this year, which was wonderful to see. In the application, so many of you showed tremendous leadership. You have overcome incredible challenges, and I know that the profiles in those applications are people that are going to be successful in life. So whether you hear your name called or not, you are a winner today. And so with that, I'm going to announce the names in alphabetical order, and if your name is called, I'd appreciate it if you would stand up. Let me begin with Mr. Ryan Brackett. Congratulations, Ryan. May I also please ask Ms. Carolina Proctor to stand. You know, I'll tell you, there's one thing that makes graduations fun, and that's surprises. And when the committee went through the evaluation process, the truth is, we actually all agreed that there should be 3 winners. And even though we'd initially set this up for only 2 winners, through the gracious interaction with the superintendent's office, at the school district, and with Principal Maeda, we established a 3rd scholarship for $10,000. And the winner of the 3rd scholarship is Miss McKenna Teo. I want to thank you all for your time. You all look wonderful today. Congratulations.
That was a pretty amazing surprise. Thank you, Cameron. And now for our musical performance, If Music Be the Food of Love, by Henry Hevingham and David C. DeGao, performed by the JHS Concert Choir, Orchestra, and drama members. Directed by Ashley Haslinger, Elizabeth McMurray-Hawk, and accompanied by Tatiana Boggs. Thank you, JHS Choir, Orchestra, and Drama. So, here we are at the moment we've been waiting for. As the principal of Juanita High School, I hereby certify that each of the students receiving a diploma this afternoon has met the graduation requirements as defined by the state of Washington and the Lake Washington School Board of Directors. It is my honor and pleasure to declare you graduates of Juanita High School. I now ask that our staff members start dismissing students to be lined up. Will the first name readers please come to the stage?
Nail Stanton Zarelli.
Malik Abdallah.
Amanda Willingham.
Mohammed Abu Rayyan.
Yaseli Castillo.
Zeus Acevedo.
Fernanda Blanco Beltran.
Riley Adam.
Maram Al-Fahid.
Ahura Afifi.
Ada Blanco Gonzalez.
Kenya Aguirre.
Franklin Aguilar Rodriguez.
Zainab Ashamani.
Madeline Hernandez Hernandez.
Haki Akaladi.
Bao Chao Don.
Sylvia Amaris.
Armin Dodick.
Marcella May Anderson.
Daphne Espino.
Josephine Anderson.
Bianette Katana Prado.
Joaquin Antia Garza.
Ashley Estrada Vargas.
Jones Antley.
Beatriz Faria Tejeda.
Cooper Apley.
Maria Jardim de Souza Santos.
Cooper Arnold.
Ethan Kali'i Gardner.
Jaden Arnold.
Brady Everett.
Sharif Asakra.
Dong.
Ryan Daniel Ashton.
Nathan Lopez Jaimes.
Sophie Lauren Augustine.
Tihitina Himbago.
Valeria Mariel Avalos.
Zahera Katabi.
Karush Icox.
Irina Koberniuk.
Daniel Ashire Tazifchich.
Avril Leon Galeana.
Daniela Baches.
Elias Marquez.
Dirajip Beluvere.
Eri Mata Perez.
Logan Bannister.
Axel Navarrete Galeana.
Phoenix Behringer.
Tu Nong Tron Win.
Landon Beam.
Kylon Reposi Pasos.
Megan Beatty.
Joshua Ramirez Sanchez.
Hollister Patrick Bechtel Hall.
Sangalawayo Kata.
Samrath Beatty.
Cherubin Mugisha.
Bianca Bell.
Rafael Rico Ariola.
Dean Benaroya.
Leo Demarest.
Jonah Baraman.
Chinyu Shao.
Ethan Bergstein.
Kawa Victor Valentin Fernandez.
Chase Berry.
Kiara Maria Duarte Santana.
Daniel Bialzweski.
Anish Managuli.
Brooke Bowden.
Brandon Moreno.
Aiden Boyles.
Lauren Marie Mandang.
Aubrey Bredice.
Callie Mann. Sora Mantooth.
Ravid Briggs.
Annika Markel.
Emily Brown.
Allison Martin.
Kyler Bryant.
Molly Martin.
Kai Burris.
Simon Martin.
Sydney Caldwell.
Sabrina Martin.
Christian Ignacio Campos.
Rylan Martin.
Isaac Chow.
Nathan Martin.
Ma Angela Carpo.
Billy Martinez.
Yaretsi Cesar Hernandez.
Jaden Martinez.
Caden Chan.
Karen Martinez.
Blake Chang.
Evan Maslick.
Lily Chang.
Henry Mason.
Lily Chang.
Colin McCready.
Mia Chang.
Sophia McKinley.
Ethan Charters.
Daniel McKinley.
Sophia Chu.
Nathan Medina.
Sage Cicero.
Arib Mefta.
No, I can't. Sadie Patrice Kleserath.
Cohen Merriman.
Sophie Grace Kleserath.
Achilles Mika Tangiola.
Lincoln Cohen.
Sophia June Minia Cases.
Rocco Miguel Colantes.
Ralph Mindo.
Ava Collins.
Zahara Mitchell.
Christopher Condren.
Calvert Moeller.
Elisa Cook.
Koa Moeller.
Haley Crawford.
Callum Morrison.
Cameron Cribbs.
Eric Mayushinsky.
Catherine Crotwell.
Christian Charles Mullen.
Harrison Crozier.
Suella Botol Narvaez. Sorry.
Sebastian Cugini.
Kayla Natin.
Samantha Curry.
Deborah Dio.
Tyler Dayton.
Ava Newson.
Sophia DeLoza.
Jalen No.
Kylie Cook.
Emma Noke Sayunkam.
Caitlin Copley.
Magnus Nielsen.
Bianca Cordova.
Mia Nomura.
Sofia Correa Valenzuela.
Lauren Norby.
Trevor Couture.
Jordan Norman.
Kevin Craig Lundry.
Daria Nosariva.
Connor Detterman.
Roberto Enrique Ochoa IV.
Matthew Detterman.
Zachary Christian Olson.
Gianna De Leon.
Daniel Ansi.
Evie Madridano Delia.
Jacob Orswell.
Kian Damar.
Eduardo Paco.
Madison De Silva.
Adelaide Palfy.
David Martin DeVary.
Elliot Parker.
Jaden Alexander Dickey.
Grady Pascal.
Lily Catherine DeJoya.
Lawson Patton Horta.
Taylor Dill.
Ellery Pendleton.
Dylan Demayuga.
Cesar Alberto Perez.
Jacob Doan.
Betty Kate Pachette.
Alma Donenfeld.
Kevin Peterson.
Otis Downing.
Jocelyn Din Pham.
Eamon Doyle.
Andrew Pham Brem.
Derek Druckhammer.
Sienna Phoenix.
Maddie Hidalgo.
Sophia Porcincula.
Kaya Erickson.
Rohan Prakash.
Tiana Basarik Evans.
Adrian Preisler.
Desian Farnham.
Finn Prevey.
Liliana Fitzpatrick.
Carolina Proctor.
Kiara Ann Foster.
Lucy Kuach.
Mackenzie Ryan Fox.
Yusheen Kwa.
Alexander Friend.
Emily Kitanija Ledesma.
Carver Fry.
Ben Quintero.
Landon Fry.
Nirja Rajashekar.
Gracie Wailam Fung.
Ashley Galilea Ramos Perez.
Ebenezer Damaris Garcia Benitez.
Adarsh Rao.
Ian Garcia.
Carla Sophia Pop.
Angel Garcia Bravo.
Gage Reineke.
Janelli Esmeralda Garcia Solar.
Nico Renteneria.
Arthur Gazarov.
Santiago Rodriguez.
Lindsay Geeson. Jewel Gifford.
Sloan Rockwood.
Ella Jewel Gifford.
Aiden Day Luis Rodriguez.
Allison Giordano.
Joel Rodriguez.
Sofia Gonzalez.
Autumn Rolls.
Nicholas Goslin.
Hudson True Romero.
Nathan Greathouse.
Williams Jose Romero.
Alyssa Groshon.
William Rose. Kayani Ruzan.
Lara Gerliuk.
Cadence Rustin.
Isabella Halcrow.
Olivia Rustin.
Lily Hansen.
Harper Rutenbar.
Olivia Harmon.
Reagan Rutenbar.
Grace Harrington.
Ella Rudder.
Davis Bradley Haslinger.
Ligi Rincusi.
Bella Hauk.
Susanna Rhymes.
Jack Healy.
Kai Sadler.
Lola Caitlin Healy.
Isabella Bianca San Jose.
Colin Hine.
Lulu Sanbo.
West Hirat.
Winnie Sambo.
Colin Henderson.
Sai Sankara.
Riley Hennessy.
Batul Talat Sarhan.
Angel Ramirez.
Marcus Sather.
Daniel Hernandez Alfaro.
Liane Satut.
Freddie Hernandez Martinez.
George Shibley.
Gabriella Hess.
Connor Shalnot.
Jaden Lee Hoblet.
Aiden Schultz.
Kauna Hoagie.
Ronan Schofield.
Ava Hoisington.
Ari Sears.
Ariel Holland.
Hannah Eula Sears.
Christopher Holmes.
Eunice Sabane.
Chapali Hunavali.
Jack Segesser.
Ori Hosukai.
Chloe Zidell.
Elika Hosseini.
Megan Seitz.
Emmy Houts.
Zachary Selfin.
Zoe Howard.
Isaac Sorrell.
Cole Howard.
Lee Shadforth.
Bethany Hu.
Urvi Sharma.
Joshua Hudson.
Sabrina Shepard.
Sammy Huey.
Kotono Shimojo.
Noel Humphreys.
Kyle Shin.
Camden Hurley.
Waldison Silva.
Jordan Quinn.
Chase Silverman.
Hodo Ibrahim.
Ronya Skillingstad.
Mackenzie Ingersoll.
Evan Skinner.
Levi Irwin.
Holden Slatton.
Cassio Borges Giacomosi Jr.
Kira Skoog.
Blake Jensen.
Brandon Song.
Ethan Jang.
Adya Soni.
Artur Yokela.
Shariah Singal.
Peyton Jorgensen.
Ida Smith.
Amelia Kaduchka.
Alexa Steels.
Anika Kamath.
Tyler Steele.
Arihan Kamath.
Caitlin Sprinkle.
Jada Bliss Kaufman.
Lucille Souders.
Camden Keogh.
Maximiliano Sosa.
Kenneth Kester IV.
Gavin Steinert.
Paige Cattell.
Alexander Stewart.
Maury Kewish.
Jaden Stewart.
Anna Mai Kiley.
Sommer Stewart.
Mason Klug.
Narissa Stigney.
Kieran Knopf.
Jake Strelo.
Elizabeth Katov.
Violet Strelo.
Tarini Krishna.
Jude Stroh.
Josh Kunath.
Tejas Subramanian.
Arya Kundor.
Anya Suyarwanchi.
Stella Kyle McIsaac.
Johnny Suzuki.
Callista Labugen.
Michaela Spanner.
Alicia Lee.
Armand Taragi.
Kada Lehman.
Nathan T.
Victoria Lenkov.
Kaylin Tiburcio.
Ethan Leong.
Ola Tomilina.
Sanjana Lingamalu.
Kennedy Tremblay.
Scarlett Liu.
Jamie Sangova.
Jason Lloyd.
Sho Arata.
Lisa Lore.
Natalie Valdominos.
Leah Ruth Luca.
Shivani Venkatesh.
James Lynch.
Aaliyah Vermey.
Theo Lynch.
Mithran Vijayanand.
Yorick McBean.
Mariah Zamora.
Wade Mako.
Diana Vruvlevskaya.
Katie Magdalene.
Arda Ustuntash.
Tess McGee.
Logan Utek.
Bianca Mayer.
Sophia Vanderheiden.
Eileen Basharati.
Kristen Vang.
Julianne Bloomquist-Geh.
Chloe Wambach.
Kylie Bourgeois.
Yue Wang.
Ryan Brackett.
Brim Watana Ying Sumsuk.
Celeste Chavez. Isabella.
Landon Ward.
Lily Isabella Clem.
Thomas Wilhelmson.
Mira Dobrev.
Skylar Idariega.
Jonah Facion.
Taylor Wilson.
Mia Gregory.
Ellie Wolf.
Miley Harner.
Marlon Wong.
Olivia Kasprick.
Armin Zachary.
Danielle Lamb.
Ognian Augie Zarek.
Michaela Garcia Manzano.
Gabriel Wozniak.
Atusa Talebi.
Rukita Zeta Brown.
Maylee Emma Tomisto.
Maddox Yetzer.
McKenna Ta'o.
Kowin Yi.
Amina Hussein. Mariana Angarita Salazar.
At this time, your ASB President, Ryan Brackett, please come to the stage. In case you forgot, it's right there.
Seniors, please stand. All right, grab your tassel on the right and turn it all the way to the left. Graduates, you may now throw your caps.